you think we may make decisions based off of some frivolous things? I guess I want to segue into this, and it's one of my favorite things you've done is the 3-wish thing, and you talk about height and other factors, like how we make these decisions that may be arbitrary, that don't really lead to actual relationship success.
Yeah. So why don't we set up the kind of 3 wishes thing first, and then we can go to some of the frivolity we exhibit during partner selection. But yeah, so let's imagine like you have a fairy godmother, and she shows up. She says, "Hey, Nick, I'm going to give you 3 wishes for your ideal romantic partner." Well, great. That's fantastic. But as these fables go, you want to use those wishes wisely, right? So I give this example. Let's say there's a woman who's selecting among 100 eligible bachelors, kind of a bachelor type situation, right? And these gentlemen have been selected randomly from general population, and she gets to choose among these 100 folks, who she wants to go out with. Well, let's say she says, all right, I'm going to use my 3 wishes, and I want someone who's tall. And let's say to her, that means someone who is 6 foot or taller. Well, about 80 of those guys would walk out of the room at that point. They get cut, right? Because only about 20% of men are 6 foot or taller in the United States. Whoa. Okay. So that's a big drain, right? Now let's say she goes to her second wish. Let's say she says, I want someone who's hot. And to her, that means someone who's an 8 out of 10 or 80th percentile or better, right? And so what would happen is, about another 16 of the remaining 20 would walk out of the room. So just with 2 wishes, she's gone from 100 possibilities for partners, down to 4. And with almost any other wish she makes, she's going to be left with 1 guy or a fraction of a guy, right? And so it's unbelievable. And people can do this with their wishes. And we would do this in class all the time. I'd have students write down, what do you want? They'd write down, 15, 20, 25 things they want in a partner. And that's fine. I say, hey, yeah, go big, dream big. But then, I'd have people volunteer if they were okay with me having go through their list. And we would just see how their 3 wishes would quickly take them down to 1 person or a fraction of a person. So one of the main things people can do to improve their dating life, and I don't want people to settle. What I want people to do is I want them to get the traits and characteristics in a partner that are actually the most important to them. That's what I want. And so make a big list. But then what I would say is now be, really thoughtful about rank ordering the things you want in a partner, the wishes you have for a partner, from let's say 1 to 10 or even 1 to 20, and really emphasize those first 3 and be like, hey, what would be the 3 non-negotiable things that I absolutely need in a partner? And when people give it that kind of thought, I think we all have the wisdom within us to actually, think about, okay, these are the things that are actually going to matter in the long run. When folks do that, they make much better decisions. So, that's the 3 wishes, and then where that took me to next then was to think about, well, how do people actually spend their wishes? Is there data about that? And there certainly is. One of my, favorite studies that we did for the updated version that just came out from some of the online dating stuff was a study of Hinge users. And I think it was over 10,000, Hinge users. And they wanted to see a number of things. But one of the most interesting things they found was how long do people spend on a profile before they swipe on it? And as you can imagine, the results were a little disheartening.
Like 3 seconds?
Yeah, a little bit less. Yeah. So
less? Oh, I thought it was being conservative.
Yeah. No, but 2 seconds, people would look at and then they'd swipe right or left. And, one of the things that happens with online dating that I don't think folks always realize is that we can get careless because there's so many possibilities, right? But when you swipe left, that's a hard rule out. That means not only have you lost that person for whatever characteristics you were deciding upon, which is probably just the profile picture, right? What I see happening is, well, maybe you're losing someone with great character, moral character. maybe you're losing someone with a unbelievable personality or unbelievable talents, all that's going out the window when you make those decisions with online dating. Or if you're setting filter preferences ahead of time, folks want to think through, like, this isn't just a preference, this is actually a hard rule out that I'm doing when I set these filters. So, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't go for someone who's attractive, or it's not okay to go for some of these a little more frivolous kinds of things. But dating should be fun. But at the same time, you don't want to let those kind of careless decisions get in the way of you getting what's actually really important to you.